Welcome back. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving and the winter holidays are fast approaching. Brr, that's why we live in South Florida. It's a time of year for family, but what if you are like many LGBTQ plus people and you have a bad relationship with your blood relatives? A big challenge to many in our community, including me, is finding your people. And it's no wonder that when we do find our people, they become our new family. You know, they really do. And it's okay to spend the holidays with the people that you care about, or it should be reserved for people you care about, or should it only be reserved for blood obligations? Question number 3 with a Bacardi eggnog shot. I'd swallow that. I believe that chosen family is more important than relatives sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shot.
I mean, like sometimes or always?
Well, I mean, again, I don't have a great relationship with my mom. She doesn't respect my marriage. We don't celebrate. I don't get to go, oh, it's Christmas time. Let me go up and visit my mom. It doesn't work that way in my family, right? My chosen family is my family. We're the ones who spend Christmas together. We spend New Year's Eve together. Yeah. And it's been that way for 30 years. Yeah. I have never had that, you know? Yeah. So, and that's why I always tell LGBTQ plus folks that don't have their parents because they're LGBTQ plus folks that they could find family in people that are not their blood relative, you know? As much as I can't stand Trini most of the time, I know that if I said to him, listen, I have nowhere to go on Thanksgiving, can I come spend it with you?
Always.
That's what a chosen family does, right?
Perfect.
Right? That's what chosen family does, Max.
Yeah, so Prism just put out a queer Thanksgiving survival guide.
Ooh, I love that. Okay,
I mean, so we focus on young people, so high school, college, and a lot of college students are coming back home for the holidays. They might be seeing family that they don't normally see, their extended family who aren't really with it in terms of queer topics and their identities. And so really being able to understand how to navigate those situations, how to take care of yourself in those spaces when your parents drag you along to see the rest of your family. Like how do you take care of yourself in those moments? And then also if you don't have a relationship even with your immediate family, how can you find that chosen family, and how can you, how do you partake in a Friendsgiving and something like that? And I think that's something that as queer people is so important for us to be able to recognize our options there and how we celebrate it.
And I love that you said that there's options, I think that we're so indoctrinated, like as kids, that we think that what we see on TV is what the holidays are supposed to be like. And maybe that is how it's supposed to be like, but that's not how it is for most of our community.
It's not reality.
It's not reality, right? I mean, what would you say about that, Ms. Solange?
I mean, I have I've always been very open about that. I have no relationship with my entire family for the past 10 years. And my mother she threw me out of the house when I was 18 because of the way how I am. And I made my way to Amsterdam then. And there's been a very big advocacy in my pageant world to talk about that. I've been homeless and I've been through a lot, but it's not necessarily something that they would see, because you see me as like this tall, blonde Amazon, and you think that everything's going well for me, but it's actually, like most people, like many people, it comes with a very dark past. And I have a chosen family, and I have a lot of friends, and I'm very grateful for that. And I celebrate my birthday, I celebrate Christmas, with those people, and I'm very grateful for that. So even though I do believe that every person should have the right for a family, because that is what, like how it is intended, it's not reality for a lot of us. Yeah. And that's normally not our fault, It's not in our power to make that connection, or simply you don't want to.
Oh, that's true too. That part, right?
Exactly. For your own mental health. And I'm just very happy that we, there's the option of having a chosen family.
Yeah. So you need to tell us about.
So I follow that, choosing family, like walking away from biological family and adopting my chosen family. And I'm blessed to call certain people baby sister and things. And I share with the group that I was estranged from family for about 10 years. And just out of the blue, recently we connected with a true natural blood sibling, where everything that we didn't like or whatever the reason was, is gone away, and that's just brings the heartstrings I've had my chosen family all this time, but I'm thankful for that reconnection of that biological. It's only her and I now. Like my mother has transitioned. A couple of our brothers are now have transitioned. I mean, have now gone on to pass away, and so into that great beyond. And so we didn't have anybody for us. And so we both living isolated lives. And me as a queer person, not even be able to share even that part, never shared that part. Although she knew I'm a person of a certain age who never had children. And she's kind of guessed it around it with cousins. Children that I claim, that's very, very different. But now to be that ability to now come forward and be like, this is who I am, because there you do need a survival guide. I remember going to family things from like 9 to 2 and couldn't wait to leave there and go to my Friendsgiving and be my authentic self. And I will share these 10 years being by myself. There's been moments where I have cried at Thanksgiving. I don't like holidays because as a single person, as a person who had a trifle island by themselves, it's hard.
And you miss your family.
And you do miss your family. You miss your loved ones who, you know, but I also have a father who I don't get along with. I have a father who doesn't realize that I am a strong person of a certain level in my life, and therefore you're not going to talk to me a certain way. You're not going to disrespect me. And no brothers or cousins who don't understand that I may be same gender loving or love someone that may not be who you say I should love. And I'm okay with that, but it does get a little cold. And the chosen family makes up for it, because I don't celebrate birthdays, but I've had great women, my siblings, who say, you know what, you have to celebrate. You have to love who you are, because without you, we wouldn't have this connection. The world would be different.
Of course.
And so I'm blessed because of my chosen family.
It's very true.
I have a very similar story. Like, you know, my parents, you know, they both passed on early in my life. My mother stuck around till I was about 35, and she didn't accept that I was gay. She couldn't even say the word, but, you know, close to when she passed away, you know, we made up. And like when we made up, it was like, you know, you start thinking about like, man, what if we could have done this earlier, you know? And through so many times in my life, even not talking about the gay part of it, just we were like oil and vinegar, you know? So we had many periods of estrangement throughout my life, you know? And then I'm left with a brother and sister. My brother does not accept that I'm gay, or maybe he accepts it, but he just would prefer not that I don't say anything about it. And I have a sister who is like Faye, which means I can't stand her, but she doesn't care about the whole gay thing, you know? So much of my life, and I've been single pretty much my entire life. So like I've always felt like I'm an island, you know, and I choose who I decide to hang out with and who I'm going to spend holidays with. And I almost always spend holidays with friends. You know, that's where I've always felt my safe place. Like if I want to have a good time and I want to be happy, like it can't be with my family. It has to be with friends, you know, and to protect my own mental health, that's where it is. So chosen family. Thank you.
All the way. And just like what Max, and thank you for sharing that with us, by the way. Thank you. I liked you for 1 second. So, you know, and just like, you know, Max said, like you feel that you put yourself in these situations with your family, and sometimes, you know, they're life threatening. Sometimes they're mentally straining, you know, sometimes you are not in the right space to even put yourself, but you feel like you have to, right? You don't have to do shit. You don't have to put yourself in that kind of scenario. You can find your chosen family. You do deserve chosen family. It's just like how we are with religion. You know, we're so badgered into thinking we're not going to heaven, we're going to hell, blah, blah, blah. So there's no church for us. There's a church for us. We're in a church right now, you know?
And there's a heaven for us. And to that point, we've been here. We've always been here. We've been here through the test of time. And that book that someone translated from their own set of eyes, we would not include it in their stories, but we were here. They just chose not to include us in faith. No, I love how you say that. We have a church. We have spaces.
Of course.
We have opportunity. So I hope that someone who's watching us knows that when that person comes at you and says, guess what? You don't have a church and you won't go to heaven. I want my family to know that you got a home already waiting. When that time comes, don't live your best life.
For sure.